Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of Live with Lenny. My name is Zach Ditmars for Fish Talk Magazine. Tonight's topic, get in on the hot fall action. We're going to be talking about all kinds of fall fishing opportunities and winter opportunities coming up in the next few months. Before we get going, I just want to say thank you to our sponsor, Yamaha. Without this sponsorship, I don't know if we can make these things happen. So it's great to have them on board. And they have a program called Yamaha Right Waters that promotes environmental awareness and other programs such as Coastal Conservation Association of Maryland. If you hop on over to Fish Talk Mag /Yamaha, you can find a whole slew of Chesapeake and Mid Atlantic dealers. Wintertime's great time to repower. It's also time for winterization if that is your sort of thing. I know a certain guy who does not winterize, and I don't either. You know why? Because we go fishing, right? Because the best winterization is to run your boat. Isn't that right, Lenny?
That is absolutely right. Many years ago, a wise man told me the best way to winterize an outboard is to use it.
So, just to tell everybody, so what do? You fire it up once, twice a month, or like if you're not using it, because you have like a million boats. I think you have three. You have three, only three.
I have multiples. Yeah, if an outboard, if you're using it, great. If it doesn't get used for a period of about a month, you do want to run it, put some earmuffs on it, bring it up to operating temperature. And as long as you do that once a month, run it 5-10 minutes. That's it. That's all you really have to do. The whole point of the fogging oil is to prevent corrosion from forming inside. And by running the motor, you get those oils all over the interior. It kind of takes care of things. The one other thing I'll add is, of course, it's really important that before winter sets in, you do your final oil change of the season, both up top for a 4-stroke and also in the lower unit. Throughout the course of the season, acids build up in the oil, and you don't want it to sit there even for a month at a time. You just don't want it sitting there, having been used a lot. You really want fresh oil to carry you through the winter. And the one beat thing about that is it throws off the automatic alarm that tells you when to get your oil changed. And I got to write it down. Okay, I changed it X hours because I know the alarm might go off in 40 hours of use instead of 100 hours of use. So you do have to keep track of that. But that is truly the best way to winterize an outboard. Use it.
And I've heard a lot of people talk about, if there's a chance of any water intrusion in your lower unit, changing that oil out gets that out of there too.
That is true. And when you do that oil change, you want to make sure it's not milky, right? That's your indication that you've got water in there. And if there is water in there, and then you can have freeze damage result. Even if it didn't, you're going to have a problem down the road. Water in the lower unit is a bad deal. But don't worry about flushing water running through the system, as long as that outboard is tilted all the way down. You never want to leave it tilted up. That'll hold water. But an outboard is designed to drain 100% tilted all the way down.
Right on. Well, I got to say, I've said this before. My dad's got an '08 Yamaha 90 horse on his Boston Whaler, and that thing sounds so good. It gets serviced meticulously by Tri-State Marine down in Deal, and we took it out last weekend, and I was just shocked. It just sounds so. I mean, your motor sounds good. This thing purrs like a kitten. I'm not joking. It's amazing.
Okay, you took it out last weekend?
Yeah.
Well, before we get into what's happening, why don't you tell us what happened?
Well, we were out. We had some hot action in October, like an epic day, a banner day, maybe the best day of the year. That was about 2-3 weeks ago, I think. I mean, it was an early afternoon. We the boss said we could cut out of work, and I think we headed out the Thomas Point area. We caught like 30 fish, and then before the end of the day, we found a few in the evening on top water right at last light. I think it was a 40 fish day, so it was awesome. And then following that, things have been a little bit more sporadic. Some really hot days, some hit or miss days. No skunks really, but we've fished a lot in the last couple of weeks, haven't we?
That, I think, was my best day of the year so far. That was a pretty phenomenal day. But like you said, we had this really good blast of fish, and then in the past week, it's gotten tougher. It really has. And we'll talk more about that. We'll get into the current events, what's happening out there on the bay. But first, We get to give away some prizes.
Absolutely. So, great Chesapeake invasive count. This is still running all the way through, I think, February of next year. So, snakeheads probably not your best shot at catching invasive as the water cools down, but flatheads and blue cats, that's fair game all through the winter. So if you haven't heard of this, you sign up. It's free. You download iAngler, and then when you're out there fishing, you just lay that catfish on a ruler, snap a pic, enter it, and you're in. You've given fisheries managers now size and location of a certain fish, so they can sort of track. So it just goes into their decision making when it comes down to these fish. So you can be a citizen scientist and help out. And
how much does it cost? How much does it cost to enter your fish?
I think it's free 99.
Absolutely free. And you can win cool prizes.
That's right.
We've been giving away a lot of stuff every month. And we're going to give away some more tonight.
All right, what do we got? First up?
What do we got? What do we got? Mike Dawson. Congratulations, Mike. Hey, before we pull another, people always ask me, so let's get it out front. How do these people claim their prizes?
There's a link right at the bottom of this slide here at ccamd.org, invasive-count-winners. You can also just, I'll put up their email address as well, and you can shoot an email if you're wondering. I think they did mention, it was a busy fall, so they're still catching up on some of the fulfillment on some of the previous prizes. So if you are watching and did get announced as a winner, it's on its way. Just hang tight. Yeah. All right.
Let's give away some more stuff. Shane Strybey, the cocktail tumbler kit. Excellent.
Congrats, Mike.
There's Mike.
I think he invited me to go with him that day, and I was out with Dad actually on the whaler. So, but congrats, Mike. That's awesome.
Way to go.
Hey Tim, thanks for joining us. I hope you're fishing with those cat slayers. He won the cat slayers, so I hope you have. Let us know.
Nice.
All right, up next,
George Woodford, the Marucci's. Very nice. Congrats, George. And don't forget, it's not those sunglasses in specific. It's a gift card to pick out whatever pair you like. And those are nice sunglasses. I got a pair.
I love that we have a studio. I love that we have a studio audience here.
It's like background noise. I could barely hear it.
Oh, come on, crowd, louder.
There you go. Glenn Knuckles, a toadfish dry box. Very nice. I bet that's a good one for the cell phone on a boat,
Yeah. I could use one. All right.
I'm always scared with the cell phone on the boat.
Ted's been fishing his butt off. He's been winning a lot of stuff.
Ted is back. The 13-quart angle. Congrats, Ted.
So I think last month or the month before they announced new prizes for fishing Upper Bay. That's basically north of Bush River. Is that Back River? All the way up to Susquehanna. So if you're fishing in that zone, you get special prizes from Toctermans, which is really cool. And there's one guy that fishes a whole heck of a lot up there. His name's Ted Karski. So he wins the Toctermans lower pack. Congrats, Ted.
Nice. Congrats, Ted. I was fishing with Ted, I don't know, maybe month and a half ago, something like that. And he's a lot of fun to fish with. Him and his wife are great folks. And he said he was almost embarrassed at how much he was winning. But I was talking to him about the fishing he does. And up north, they're catching like one blue cat after the next. And he's taking the time to take the picture and send it in, which is great because, again, hey, Ted, it's great because, again, the scientists are getting that information. They want to know, where are these fish thick? How big are they? What's the location? And boy, once you get up north there in the Upper Bay, there are some pockets where there are just tons and tons and tons of these things. And you can go out, you might catch 30, 40, 50 in a day. So if you want to win something cool like a lure pack from Toctermans, head north.
But wait, there's more. Last month, there was a special prize for fishing in the Upper Bay. in addition to the tolerance pack. So, Lenny, next time you're fishing with Ted, I ask you to challenge him to a catch and cook because Ted won a Blackstone tabletop griddle.
No way. Holy mackerel.
And it looks like you throw that in the tailgate and, maybe eat right there at the boat ramp, huh?
Nice. I want to know. So Ted, I want to know if you know how many blue cats you've entered so far. I'm curious. Are we hitting the 1,000 mark yet?
Yeah. Walt
And
says
there's
great last
Walt.
name
What's up, Walt?
because he's got the ski. They got the ski in it.
Ah.
All right, so that's it for the invasive prize this month. Again, we got like 4 more months of this, so get out there and catch some blue cats.
Now we have a special prize to bestow tonight, don't we?
We do. Last week we had more than 100. He says he's my hero too. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So last week we had the CCA Annapolis chapter banquet at Chesapeake Bay Foundation. Fish Talk was there. We had a great time.
We did.
People bid on some trips with Lenny. Bid on some trips with me. So we're going to take some folks fishing, have a good time. More importantly, they raised a ton of money for their cause. And if you don't know what CCA is all about, it's primarily is building reefs, creating Chesapeake Bay habitat, educating the youth. They do this through STEM programs as well as advocacy through fisheries management and lobbying. They're the voice of us out there, So they do a lot. So we're all in.
And they do a fantastic job. And my opinion on this is if you fish the Chesapeake Bay, you should be a CCA member. It's not terribly expensive. It really isn't. They do a whole lot of stuff that you can sort of join by accident, like going to a banquet. Go to a banquet, you have a great time. Guess what? When you buy your ticket, you become a member. Join one of their tournaments. Guess what? You have a great time, you become a member. And the bottom line is, when those folks are sitting down at the State House, there is only one voice speaking for recreational anglers, and that is the Coastal Conservation Association of Maryland. That's it. So we really all should be members. We all know that we have been kind of beaten up on the legality side of things through the years. Recreational anglers do not exactly have a loud voice at the State House. And, we could say very much the same thing for Virginia. And guess who's in Virginia sticking up for the anglers? CCAVA. So, a lot of people have an incomplete knowledge of what CCA is and what it does. And we've talked about it many times. And, if I just had to bottom line it, all I can tell you is they are the voice of the recreational anglers. They're the only one that's speaking up for us. That's it. So really, we all should be members.
And, and I think one thing I've always heard is that, because the term conservation might imply we're a bunch of tree huggers. We're not. We're a bunch of meat eaters. Mm-hmm. We just want to continue eating that meat.
Yes.
and things need to happen for that to continue. Do you know what they did today? Do you know what the big news in CCA today was? 100 plus reef balls were dropped at Hullick's Noose in Eastern Bay. We were catching fish there last week, right off the reef. So, why? Structure, habitat, things that create a fishy environment for us anglers.
Yeah, the reef balls are shockingly effective. Most of the reefs that you'll find in the bay where they've got those reef balls, man, they are loaded with fish on a very regular basis. We all fish them. Hollicut's is one, Tillman is another, Cook Point. We all fish them,
CCA reef in Crisfield for the first time, and we caught bluefish, sea bass, toadfish. You don't always get what you want, but hey, it's creating habitat. And where there's some fish, there's other fish, right?
So, Zach, I have a question for you, because I know for the CCA banquet prize that we're going to get to in a minute, you've got the spinny wheel, right? Can you make up a spinny wheel like on the cuff? Can you do that?
Probably.
Okay. I'm going to put out a challenge to everybody watching tonight. if you are not a CCA member and you join during the show, if we can get to 5 new members, we're going to make a spinny wheel, and the winner is going to get a fishing trip on the Fish Talker, my boat, with me. How about that?
Can I renew like a year and like add? It's
You
got to be
already
new
get,
members.
but I'll tell you what, if you're already a member and you become a lifetime member, how about that? Right? What do you think? Can we do that? Can we make up that spinny wheel? Can we keep track?
Yeah, well, yeah, put your if you in the next 45 minutes, if you go to ccamd.org and either sign up as a new member or sign up as a life member, confirm that in the comments and we'll do the spinny wheel. But we have to have 5, you said, right? You have to have 5.
We've got to hit 5.
What if someone gets a life member?
I hope we hit 10.
Okay.
I hope we hit 20. But we got to hit at least 5.
All right.
All right. So I'm sorry I've tasked you with yet another thing to keep track of.
All right. So anyway, we got off track a little bit there. We had a great time at the banquet. Sean Kimbrough and friends were playing. It was awesome. We had John Rodenhausen, former director of CBF, was there. I think he's with the county of Anne Arundel County now, but he's still in recreation, still an advocate for fishing. So Metropolitan catered. It was awesome. It was great. And there's a ton of these events throughout the state that you can be part of. They're a lot of fun, and the food was excellent. Oh, and we had a special Sagamore rye. That was pretty good. So if you bought a table, or a table sponsor, you get thrown into a raffle to fish with Captain Tom Weaver aboard the Miss Jimmy. I fished on that boat a couple of times. It's a Seahawk, totally refit with some cool amenities, and he's just a fun guy to fish with. He's got stories for days.
Yes.
So VIP tables got 2. You'll see those here. This is a little tricky because there's a chance Fish Talk might get drawn here. So
I got my fingers crossed.
Okay, Kevin says let's go circle back. All right, so I'm gonna shuffle these. Okay, I'm gonna hit the shuffle button. Okay, guys, shuffle now. Now the names are all shuffled. So let's shuffle it again. I still see some of them next side by side. Okay, let's just shuffle a bunch like we're in Vegas or something. All right, shuffled. Okay, ready? Drum roll.
Hit it. Oh, come on.
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, this is I can't believe I said that.
We can't do that. Spin it again. We can't do that.
Well, we won though.
Let's spin it again. We can't do that. We can't win the prize.
All right. Okay. All right. Fine.
I'm sorry.
Fine. All right.
I'll talk to Tom. We'll see if we can work out a trip.
Oh man.
We can't win.
All right. We'll do it again. What a buzzkill.
Oh my God.
All right. Why? I told you.
What are you doing behind the curtains?
This is hilarious. All right. Okay. Let's do it again. All right. I got this wheel from Dave at CCA. So all right, I'm gonna hit remove.
What?
All right, we're not in there anymore. All right, let's try this again. This was a fail. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I'm totally rigging it. All right, Dr. Luke. All right. Dr. Luke's awesome.
Congratulations, Dr. Luke and friends. We hope you have a fun trip. That was man. How did that happen?
I think we should go to Atlantic City tonight. What do you think? All right. Well.
All right. And a few people start joining. I just want to mention, when I donate a trip to CCA or Fish for a Cure or whatever it may be, we're talking about up to 4 anglers. So it's not like, just you. Oh, we got one already. Excellent. Thank you, Noah.
Okay, so Kevin's a life member. Put me in. Does he qualify? Existing life member?
Kevin, you got to do something. You got to do something.
He already did a lot. I mean, that's a hefty thing.
I know. I'm a lifetime member.
But it's your okay. All right.
Kevin, have you joined the pickerel tournament?
Oh, he's totally in the pickerel tournament. He's
totally in the pickerel tournament. What can we do? Give me something. Side donation? Come on, give CCA something. And you're in. You've got a blank look on your face. All right. Well, while this goes on, why don't you take us to the first slide and we'll start talking about the fishing.
All right. I'm leaving.
I can't believe we came up on the wheel 3 times. I was kind of psyched for that too. I want to get on Tom's boat and go fishing with him. Dang it. Aha! Reef balls were brought in to support both oyster restoration and fishing reef development. Success achieved for both objectives. Absolutely. The reef ball thing is fantastic. And this is Wayne. Wayne was involved in it. I'll donate. Okay, Kevin, you're in. That'll work.
Okay, that's 2. We need 3 more.
Come on, people. So Wayne, back when Maryland had a reef program, he was doing it for quite a while, and he knows what he's talking about with those reef balls. And people, it is so true. Those things just get loaded with growth and pull in the fish. All right, let's talk about what's going on now. Zach, why don't you throw up slide number 1? I like this slide. So this is on a good friend of mine, Steve. He goes out of Chincoteague, and he likes to target those swordfish. I had just a phenomenal trip with him last year. I haven't been out with him yet this year. As everybody is well aware, the big challenge right now is finding the weather window, right? We've just had so much wind. And for something like daytime sorting, you can't, it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You can't just go. The conditions have to be right. But the bottom line is those fish are there. They are eating. Now, Steve mentioned to me that these fish were caught on fresh mahi belly. He likes to go and bail some balls, get some fresh mahi, and then ties up the fresh bellies, and they totally do the trick. So that is definitely something that if the window opens up, that weather window opens up, and you have the opportunity, heck yeah, you'll want to get in on that. We'll just say for the record, meanwhile, inshore, sea bass are biting, tog are starting to bite a little better now, and in the surf, again, it's been really difficult to find a time when you can actually go surf fishing, but we've been getting regular reports from the guys down there that they're still getting good numbers of kingfish, including some particularly big kingfish. Haven't heard about any more reds. I think that's probably over. Pretty soon we'll start hearing about the big rockfish, we hope, but in the meantime, there is plenty of stuff going on down at the beach. All right, Zach, you want to take us on to the next one?
I got a report from Jersey this morning. From starting to catch some bigs.
Good. Then they're on the way. They're on the way. Why don't you go ahead and throw up the next one? We will go right to Freshwater. So
that's Mike. That's Mike right there. He won the cooler.
Perfect. So we've been getting, I would say, a really nice flow of steady, good reports, sort of all around the dial on freshwater. The lakes, the ponds, the rivers. There was a lot of stocking that went on last month in the trout rivers. I believe that has been completed for the season in Maryland. I'm not sure about Virginia, Pennsylvania, Delaware. Might still be some going on. But in any case, the fish in the freshwater venues are on there, which is no surprise, right? This time of year, generally really good stuff. Our contributor, Eric Packard, has been pretty steadily hitting some different spots, both like St. Mary's Lake, some of the area ponds, and be getting a pretty nice mix between bass, crappie, pickerel. So if you're thinking about going freshwater fishing, put on another layer and get out there. This is a really, really good time. These fish are feeding hard before winter sets in. You probably do want to start looking a little deeper than they have been. You might still find some fish up on the shorelines, but it's more, say 5 to 15 feet of water, points, drop-offs, structure in deeper water. Fish are starting to shift in that direction. And that'll continue, of course, the colder and colder it gets. All right, why don't you take us to the next one? So I thought we'd kind of go in reverse on the bay tonight just for fun. We got another one. Excellent. Good job, Brandon. So the redfish bite, it's pretty much from the Rappahannock south. Okay, I believe Eric caught this one in the Cordoman. The Potomac, we had some in the summertime, not like last year, but there were some, but I really haven't been hearing about that. It's really been more, the wrapping down. That's kind of where it's at. And there are still good numbers of fish around, but it has been really tough to catch them, not because of the fish, but because of the water. Um, if you spent any time or a lot of time around the water in the last week or so, you may have noticed we've had these really wacky tides. We had ridiculously high tides, and then they completely reversed. Now we've got ridiculously low tides. In fact, today I went down to my skiff to go crabbing, and it was sitting in mud. So just for the record, I waited a few hours. Eventually, I did get out. Oh, great. So Noah's saying the largemouth around the Susquehanna Flats been fired up. Great timing. Yeah, so I had to wait 3 hours past when I thought I was going to go crabbing to actually go because there was just no water. The boat was literally sitting in mud. It wasn't floating. Just for the record, also, so everybody knows, I did get some crabs. I ended up getting about 3 dozen. They were in 16 to 18 feet of water. And it's really cool crabbing at this time of year because you can see them coming like way down there. The water's so clear, you see them several feet away. What is water? Well, Brandon, obviously you're not from Baltimore. We don't use T's. So if you want to catch that last blast of crabs, people, this weekend might be it because next week it is supposed to get really cold. That could end it really abruptly. But as of right now, they're still going. They're still going. All right, we got another member. Excellent.
That's 4.
Okay, this is great.
But
this
wait,
is great.
but wait, there's more. Now CCA is saying if you sign up as a life member, you do get a Blackstone grill for that. So,
wow, that's a nice prize right there.
All right, we need one more for 5.
All right, while we're waiting for that one to come in, the redfish have been difficult to catch because fishing shallow has been pretty darn impossible for like the last week. But there are some around. Eric's made a couple trips down there. Each trip, it's been slow. He's gotten like a red, a speck, a rock. It's been that kind of deal. But he's been dealing with these wacky conditions. If the water settles out, the weather gets decent, you've got a shot. So again, Rappahannock down, specks as well as the reds. All right, let's go to the next slide, please. What is that striped fish? Of course, everybody's got rockfish on their mind right now. And what's really cool is we have been getting reports around the dial, all the way up north, all the way clear down to the Elizabeth. Now down, all the way down there in the way south zone, most of the guys we've heard from are catching them. They've been doing it under dock lights at night. That seems to kind of be the best bet. But a lot of guys who are fishing for reds and specks during the day have been picking up 1 or 2 here and there. Zach, can you please make this picture really big? Because I want people to be able to see, like take up the whole screen with this picture. I hope you guys can see to the right. This is a great picture, isn't it? But to the right, you see a lot of birds, right? A lot of dots in the sky. So right now is when we all love to go chasing birds. We hope we see birds. And someone asked me just today, how have the bird shows been? And my first impulse was to say, what bird shows? Because, yeah, there have been some, but for the most part, in most areas, it's been really lackluster. You get a small number of birds, they cluster up for 30 seconds, they bust apart, 800 boats all running over the same time. It's not. Hey, we hit 5. Thank you, Jeff. Excellent. It just really, it's been a shadow of what it would have been 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But you can still get in on it. And there are a few specific things to keep in mind about what I'll call this, new age bird show. Zach, go ahead and take us to the next slide, if you would, please. I think it illustrates what we're dealing with. We all know that the rockfish numbers are down. What is Kevin saying? He accidentally donated 50 times twice. Enter someone for my second donation. Huh. Oh, what do you think, Zach? Who can
I
we
don't
come up with?
This keeps getting more confusing.
I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have started it. But hey, we got 5 new members. Maybe we'll get 6. Maybe we'll get 7. Maybe we'll get 8. Keep going, people. It isn't capped at 5. I said at least 5. So if you're watching, you can get that chance. And if you've watched the auctions, the trips generally go for a lot of money. So like it's a really cheap buy-in for a raffle, basically. Waltzing, when birds are scouting high and sitting low, be ready to go. Man, you see a lot of them scouting these days, and you don't see a heck of a lot of them diving. It's just, sometimes you see it and you're like, yay, 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 and it's just not the same as it was. Oh, Peter and Michelle, nice.
Was that
Nice.
2? Is that 2?
I love it. That looks like 2 to me. I love it. Go and throw up that other slide though, Zach, because this is what I think we're dealing with.
Okay, these are split into 2, so there's actually 2
Oh,
of
you
these.
split them into 2?
Yeah, because they wouldn't fit.
Oh man. Okay. Then everybody look at this slide. This is 10 years ago. Look at all those fish. Big giant bird show. Hundreds of rockfish, maybe thousands. Who the heck knows? Birds going for an acre, right? You could have 5 boats come up and fish different parts of this, and nobody would ever bother anyone else, and it'd be great. All right, go ahead to the next slide. Here's today. This is what we got today. You got a bunch of bait, right? You still got your bait. We have a lot of young of the year bunker. They're very small. It's not the big shoals of big bunker we're used to, we had in previous years. And why that is a whole nother conversation we're not going to even get into tonight. But there are lots of shoals of really small bunker around. And you're going to see this little wolf pack. Look at it on the lower right in the black section, right? That is the right side of the boat on side scan before the beam hits the bottom. You've got what? I don't know, 20, 30 fish. Today, I would call that great. I'd say that's a lot for what I'm seeing. Often, it's 5 or 10. That's it. It's not much. So what happened? Hey, we got another. Awesome. Thank you, David. Often, what happens is the first time anybody gets anywhere near this, they break up, right? And everybody's seen this at this point. You got 15, 20 birds. They're kind of working. They start to work for real. 6 boats run over. The first guy there might get a bite. He might get 2. The second boat there is probably not going to get a bite. And everybody after that, forget about it. So what I do these days, well, first off, I want to back up a second because historically we would always try and get upwind of the school, shift into neutral and blow into it before getting, I'd say on the outer periphery of casting distance. And then at that point, you could kind of drift the whole school. These days, what I'm finding is it's impossible to sneak up on these fish. Like, Zach, you were on the boat the other day when I tried to swing super wide on that flock of birds. Weren't you on the boat for that?
And they still dispersed as soon as we got 100 yards away.
Yeah, if that. Like, you can't even get anywhere near them. I seriously am starting to think that the birds have picked up on prop noise because your 2 strokes, they always make a ton of noise. Your 4 strokes, they really don't make any noise at all. Like I've listened to them with a microphone beneath the water. The telltale spraying into the surface is the loudest thing, just like it is above. I'm talking when at idle. But it doesn't matter. Anything, doesn't matter if you drop down your electric motor and go into them. Any kind of motor that is propelling a boat at any time is creating prop noise. And I seriously wonder if these fish have figured out prop noise, bad, gonna get caught. And maybe we've already caught all the dumb ones, and it's just the smart ones that are. I don't know. For whatever reason, the schools break up. So I'll get to my point now. Sorry about that. Ended up on a long, circuitous route. But the point of this is, if you are not first on the scene, right there, getting in your casts, the thing to do is to kind of make a wide circle around the area of activity and stare at the electronics. You can do this with a regular down looking fish finder. It doesn't work nearly as well. Side scan is, I would call it critical for this. But when you've got, 150 feet in either direction you're looking at, there's a pretty good chance a lot of the time you're going to spot that little pocket of fish. And then you can tell everybody, okay, 60 feet, right side of the boat. Doesn't always work, right? And sometimes you spot them and you don't catch them, but it gives you a serious leg up, and it does kind of help you locate those fish quite often. All right, let's go to the next slide, Zach. And I'm going to say, while you're doing that, I forgot to mention at the beginning, people, if you have any questions, pop them into the comments. Zach will get them up. We'll get them answered. That's why we do this. We want the questions to roll on in. And what I really want to roll on in is another CCA membership. Come on, people. Can I have one more? Can I have one more? Come on, people. Give me one more. All right. So, Bay Bridge. We fished that last weekend at Fish for a Cure. Didn't get any big fish. We did not find the big fish, but there was actually a pretty darn good bite up there. So if you're out, you're not seeing the bird shows, or you're in this area, whatever, fish are on the pilings or on the rock piles. We had some bites on the jigs. We caught fish on the jigs. We actually did better on jigging spoons. 1 ounce. I don't want to blank on it. 1 ounce Clark jigging spoons. Dylan's there. Hey, Dylan. I know Dylan had the hiccup on the bigger fish. That was the one that got away. What are you going to do? But the 1 ounce Clark jigging spoon, not the trolling spoons, not the type used for mackerel, the sinkers, jigging stick, that's what they call it. Those were a killer. Stuff like that did really well. We did not catch any white perch. We did put down some stuff in triform for a little bit, but we heard from an angler fishing near us who was catching. I don't know what they were using, but someone else, Zach, you may remember who, suggested that in a certain area recently that it was bloodworm. It was all about the bloodworm. If you didn't have it, they weren't eating. Do you remember who that was?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you remember where that report came from? Was that a reader, or was that someone?
Yeah, it's a friend of mine. He was a little bit north of the bridge, and they wouldn't hit fish bites. They were only hitting bloodworms. So
okay. Well, we caught no perch, and yet the boat right next to us was catching perch. So maybe they had the bloodworms. But if you want to get the perch, you might want to consider that. But again, there were fish on the piling. They were on the east side. They were on the west side. Dylan's big hookup was on the west side. But we caught, they're kind of all over the place. So that is a good option for right now if you're thinking about giving that a shot. And hey, Todd, thank you. We got another yes. Rocking. Oh, I'm excited. So, Zach, the next slide is not a slide, is it? Here we go, people. Let's check out this bite. How do you make this work?
Just hit play.
Hit play.
Oh, there we go. That's a good one. Here he comes. Dang, it's a good fish. Oh yeah. There we go. All right, I am glad he got hooked on the big cat slayer, because that guy was putting up a serious fight. Oh, I was glad to see this guy come up.
So people, that was on the Potomac near Piscataway Creek. That was that last week or the week before?
Oh, geez, 2 weeks maybe?
Was it 2 weeks ago? It was during the week, so it wasn't more than 10 days ago. But the bottom line is the blue cats. If you want to go out and catch some fish, right now, this late fall into the winter is a great time to go for these fish. They just eat. They're fattening up. And, these fish are good eating. It's like shocking how tasty the blue cats are. They're a nice white meat. They're not like I'm not a catfish fan. I don't eat a lot of catfish, but I do really like the blue cats. And I took some home. We blackened them up. They were fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And we caught them, what do you think, 20 inches to that one was maybe 30, 31? Is that about right?
About right.
Yeah. And we didn't get any big ones. That was not like a big one, that was like a decent one. He did fight really good though. And there's Eddie. Hey, Eddie. Good time. It's a really good time. The Potomac is riddled with them. The upper Patuxent has a bunch. Mike was at Piscataway this morning. Bank guys go to National Colonial Farm and fish the pier there. It's excellent. Right near the spot Lenny was fishing. Awesome. Thank you for that, Mike. That is great. And yeah, you know, I should have mentioned there's a huge opportunity for shoreline anglers in this. There's that spot. There's what's the big spot up near DC? There's like this huge long seawall you can fish off of. Is that Fort Washington?
Mm,
Dang, I'm not sure. I do know we have an article about it at fishtalkmag.com. If you plug catfish into it, it will pop up.
it's on the Anacostia, though, isn't it?
What's that?
Is that on the Anacostia or on the Potomac?
It's on the Potomac, right where it joins the Anacostia. There's a
So-
big giant park there, and there's a
there we go.
long
Haynes Point, Jeff said.
Haynes Point. Thank you.
Jeff.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's all you can. You know, it's all within casting distance of water deep enough to catch these fish one after the next. There's a bunch of spots. I mean, you can go down to the Jug Bay Park, the piers there. You're in prime territory. Oh my God, where else? There's so many. I mean, my gosh, the Susquehanna's flooded with them. The Sassafras is flooded with them. They're really all over the place. So this is it's something that you can get in on really, really easily with very little investment. Great fishery to target. And of course, don't forget, throw it on the ruler, take the picture, send it in on iAngler, and you get entered for all those prizes. Why not, right? There you go. All right, let's go on to the next slide, if you would, please. We're going to talk about a fishery that is just popping off right now and is going to get better and better and better, and that is pickerel. Man, I love pickerel fishing. I really do. And that's something that I do often after the bay kind of quiets down for the winter. The pickerel keep going. They're in the tributaries. They're in the Eastern Shore ponds. Absolutely. CCA Virginia absolutely counts 100%. You betcha. These pickerel, some people don't like them for some reason. Like bass guys sometimes poo-poo them. They strike with just viciousness. They fight like no get out. They've got a mouth full of teeth. I think they're really cool fish. And they're one of the few fish in our region. There are a couple, but they're one of the few that basically they bite better and better as it gets colder and colder. Robert's saying he'd like to see an article on the best way to clean the catfish. Maybe we'll promote fishing for them. Fish Talk rocks. Thank you for that, Robert. Okay, so noted. I'm writing this down. Cleaning the catfish.
Chad Koenig Jr. taught me an awesome way to fillet them, and I don't think we'll ever do it another way.
Oh, well, all right. Well, we'll be talking. So with this tremendous availability, great fight, awesome target. Go ahead to the next slide, if you would, please. I want to show you just how incredible these fish are. Look at that. The shad dart on the left, you can see the line. That was a bite off. Okay. This was in an Eastern Shore mill pond. And I didn't catch it. The guy I was with caught it. He got bit off. About an hour later, he gets another, we caught other fish, but an hour later, he gets a big bite. He reels in this pickerel. An hour later, this thing ate another shad dart with a minnow. I mean, come on. That's a cool fish, right? He was swimming around with this poor little bull minnow hanging on the hook on the side of his face. And it didn't stop it, That's a cool fish. I do want to mention, these guys really aren't eaters. Some people eat them. I've eaten them multiple times. They actually taste really good. They are packed with bones. So if you spend an hour and a half cleaning one, you can get some nice little strips that are really, really good. But it's difficult. And I know there's all kinds of YouTube videos and, I got this magic method. All the pin bones just pop right out. I've tried them. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. I can't make it work. Every time I end up having to slice between them. Holy cow, a 26-inch pickerel last week. That is a rockin' fish. That's like a 26-incher. Man, you hit that mark, That's serious. That's a serious pickerel. So it's mostly a catch and release fish. Fortunately, they're quite hardy, and with that cold water, they tend to do great. So just, get that hook out as quick as you can, get it back in the water. Normally what I like to do, and this is why you see this shad dart, because this was someone fishing on my boat. I'll take a really big shad dart or a small bucktail and put a bull minnow on the back, suspend that under a bobber, and I'll try and get it so that the bait is just above either dying off weed beds or the bottom. And Kevin's saying he foul hooked one this morning, got off back and hit on the same cast. Wow, man. See, these are incredible fish. They're incredible fish. No reason to pickerel when you can have white perch. I'm inclined to. It's really not. Some people they're willing to go through the pain and hassle.
You missed the tongue in cheek at the end.
What?
Oops! What white perch?
Oh,
Because they're hard to find.
they have
great.
got
Makes me
a
sad.
lot harder to find. Much harder to find than they used to be. No question about it. They are schooled up in the deep spots now, and we're hearing a lot of people up north, mouth of the Patapsco, up way Upper Bay. Hey, we got another one. Thank you, Stan. Excellent.
He fished on your old boat. I remember meeting.
He did. I fished with Stan. I think twice, maybe more. I think
He
at
wants
least
to get on the
twice.
new boat.
Yeah, that's right. That was on the old boat. So Stan, maybe you'll want to ride on the new boat. We're going to find out. So I like to suspend the minnow on the dart or bucktail over the weed bed or the bottom, and then drift it on a windy day or slow troll it, super slow troll it on a calm day. But there's a big but. There are times, and I do not know the why behind this. If anybody knows, feel free to educate me. I don't know. But there are times when these fish simply won't eat. Like all the conditions, everything seems perfect. You fish all day, you never get a bite. During those times, try this. Go ahead to the next slide, please, Zach. When they absolutely won't eat the minnow, go to the plug. And it can be a swim bait type plug. It can be a jerk bait type plug. I don't know why. The hard bait, for whatever reason, when they just won't hit the minnow, they'll eat these. And it's not like you're going to catch 20 fish, probably. When these fish are in a not eating mood, what I found is you start throwing the plug, you catch 2 or 3. And on this particular day, this is my son David. Can you make that bigger, Zach? We got the tops cut off.
Oh.
You know what I'm looking at, right? What am I looking at?
The overcast?
No.
What?
I'm looking at my son Dave.
Yeah.
What's different?
Oh, he has a haircut.
This is back when he got haircuts, because now his hair is about 60 feet long. But this is, in fact, Dave. I swear to God. And on this particular day, we were fishing in one of the Eastern Shore mill ponds. I was fishing the bobber minnow and not catching anything. And he was too. And at some point, he said, this isn't working. And he put on the plug and started throwing it. And he caught a couple fish. I never caught a fish on the minnow. And since then, I tried to, yeah, that was a while ago. But hey, Carl, my takeaway from that day was, when you're floating the minnow around and not getting bit, take another rod. You can leave the minnow floating out the back, start throwing the plug. If the plug gets bit and the minnow doesn't, then really focus on that, because there are days when they just won't eat the minnow. I have no idea why. But those plugs, on those particular days, they still seem to hit them. All right. Next slide, please. Here, whoa, you skipped. Oh, there we go. Here we have Eric Packard, our contributor, and the man who mysteriously manages to go fishing virtually every day of his life. And if you talk to him, it's true. It's kind of crazy. Even if it's blowing 30 knots out, he'll go to a pond and take 10 casts. But as you can see from this pickerel he's holding, it's got a paddle tail hanging over his mouth. They'll hit them too. So wide variety of ways to catch these fish. They also really like the inline spinners. That's another great one. Kevin saying with a live scope, there are so many followers that most people might never see. I buy that, man. I always have an Eric Packard blade bait dead sticked and reel into it, then jig it. Ah, that's an interesting tactic. That's interesting. Thank you for that, Kevin. What's the hookup ratio? Trebles to single hook. Trebles are a pain to use. Oh my God, they certainly are. They're not good for the fish. And you know what? The hookup ratio is not a lot worse. I don't have hard data, and every fishery is going to be different. But I'll tell you what my gut tells me. My gut tells me that you miss maybe a quarter more strikes, if that. And you're already missing strikes on the trebles, right? Sometimes you get a tug, doesn't come tight. Maybe 25% more of the time that happens, maybe 20%. There is no way you miss 50% more. Like, I don't buy that, especially because like most of the plugs I throw are top water. That's usually the kind of plug I'm going to fish with if I'm going to throw a plug. And on top water, man, you miss a lot of hits no matter what. I don't think it's probably 20%. It's probably 20%. It's not that much higher. And especially if you're fishing top water, the great thing is a lot of the time you get a follow-up strike, right? If the fish misses, he hits it again. So it really isn't that big a downside. And they really are. Oh, we got another CCA. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're doing good. What are we up to, Zach? Did we lose Zach?
11.
11? Oh my God. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right. And what are the best baits to change them with? The best baits to change them with. The best hooks, I think, right? That's what we're going for. Gosh, I believe we have an article on that. Don't we have an article on hook size?
I don't know. I like the VMCs, and I mean, I like to just go to the tackle shop and just match the he's saying baits. Match the gap of the
So
single hook.
that's the thing. The gap measurement is different. Like a number 1 treble hook and a number 1 inline single are not identical. I'm trying to look it up as we speak, and I'm not really good on the whole tech things. But I believe we have an article that actually, because there's a little chart you can use that goes through it. Gosh darn it. I'm not finding it. But it is a little different. But you can figure out the correct size. I'm going to say Google it and look on the website. There is a chart. It's slightly different. I don't want to say the numbers because I'm going to say I'm wrong. But okay. Mike's saying a size 1 on the front and a 2 on the rear. That's interesting.
I just did a two aughts on 2/0 work great for the size baits that you would throw for pickerel, like the 4-inch sort of hard baits.
Okay. And of course, every fish is going to be different, right? You know, pickerel is going to be different than a rockfish. You're going to be throwing different stuff. And we did a video with anglers a while ago, probably years ago, on how to change them. So that's on our YouTube channel. And it's not a big deal. You just need the split ring pliers. You know, you swap them out. A little bit of pain in the butt, but not huge. All right, we got one more slide we need to get to. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay. We need to save time for our prize drawing. So, hey, here's another thing for CCA, right? They got the Pickerel Championship running all winter long. And this is a lot of fun. It just started November 1. It runs through the end of February. I joined in on this. Oh my God. How many years have we been fishing this, Zach?
I was doing it before it was CCA, I think.
You did. You did it before Fish Talk existed.
So yeah, about 10 years, you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because you introduced me to it. And it's a super fun tournament. It kind of gets you off the couch in the middle of the winter, which is nice. Zach, I know you enjoy the aspect of it where you go to different areas to look for the pickerel. And it kind of gives you some motivation. But the cool thing is there are a bajillion ways to win. You know, there's the biggest fish, there's the biggest stringer of 3, there's an award for the biggest perch. There's a fly division. There's just a whole slew of different ways to win.
Last year they even added shore anglers. So so if you're fishing Loch Raven and you can't, now you have an even playing field with other shore anglers, because that is
Yep.
certainly a disadvantage.
And there are awesome prizes at the end of it, and there are also some Calcuttas that go on. I think there's some day Calcuttas and some.
They're actually, those are the ones with the asterisks on the slide there. So it'll be the Grand Slam, the title and non-title picker, and the longest bass, or the extra buy-ins. And the basic entry is only $50, and then $10 for each Calcutta.
It's a really fun gig throughout the winter. I look forward to it every year. And another cool thing, sometimes I feel like, ooh, maybe I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because I really don't start targeting the pickerel until we get into like January. And Packard's back in this year. Yeah, it will be a fight to the end, Carl.
Well, I think Carl won the last couple of years. He's got a hot hand. He knows what's up.
Nice. So, you can jump in the middle of January. You can jump in February. You can jump in tomorrow. So it really is a fun one. It's a great gig. All right.
I think a jet ski would be in the open boat division. Sorry, Stan. There's no jet ski special.
Yeah, I don't know how that fits in.
Well, it's got suggestions for some inlines. The Barlow's tackle here. I like the VMCs. They've worked great for me. They hold up. They're nice, thick hooks, very sharp. I will say some of the Yazuris and Rapalas, the split rings are so tough. I mean, it is hard to get those things open. It takes a little practice.
So when I first started switching them all out a few years ago, I actually ended up buying a new pair of split ring pliers because I found the cheap, crappy split ring pliers don't work, or they make it tough. You got to get like really nice split ring pliers. So Rich is asking, what rivers on the Eastern Shore have pickerel? I may be mistaken, but I don't think there are any that don't. Like you'll find them in the Tuckahoe, you'll find them way up in the Chop Tank, Nanticoke for sure, Wacomico for sure, Chester for sure,
Pocomoke
for sure. Oh my God, the Pocomoke is like, holy mackerel. That's like one of the best for him. Yeah.
You said Nanticoke, right?
I did. I think so.
Yeah.
That's a native fish in both brackish and freshwater for Maryland and Virginia. I'm not sure there are any of tributaries with any kind of real freshwater flows that don't have them. Now some will be better than others. My top pick personally would be the Pocomoke. That is, man,
you gotta love Mike for bringing up. I don't even need to dig up the links. He put it in there for us. That's
nice.
That's for the mill
There
pond.
you go. Very nice. What's that town we launch in on the Pocomoke, Zach? It's
Snow Hill.
Snow Hill. Yeah, you can launch in Snow Hill. There's public ramps there, and you're like right in the heart of prime territory.
There's a great little restaurant called like Oaked something. I don't know. Oaked.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. You never stop and eat, but it's good.
I don't.
Constantine said a great set of split rings goes a long way, and that's for sure.
Yeah, it makes quite a difference. It's kind of shocking. Agree about VMC, okay. And Mike's saying, "Great God, woo, man! I didn't have time."
All right,
we're gonna pick. Okay, wait. How many? We had 11. Is that what we're up to? There we go. Oh. And thank you, Zach, for. I'm sorry I threw a curveball at you, but thank you for making up the instant spinny wheel. And whoever the winner is, email me, Lenny at fishtalkmag.com. Okay, thank you, Zach. And we'll set a date, and it can be, we can try and do the winter Big Rock if they come. We can try and do spring Rockfish. We can try and do next summer Specs. I mean, whatever you want.
What if they want to go on the mini boat for pickerel?
We can do pickerel, although I can only take one. That boat is very small. We can do one for pickerel.
All right.
But yeah, I'm very, very flexible on this kind of stuff. And thank you, every one of you guys. Thank you so much, guys and gals. Thank you so much for joining. You're not going to regret it, whether you win or not. It is really the right thing to do. So thank you. And Zach, let's find a winner.
Should I put Fish Talk in there just for?
No. Jeff, wow, I'm going to have a tough time pronouncing that without being told first. Wersinski? Maybe I got close? I don't know. But Jeff, congratulations. And thank you again for joining. We're going to go fishing. So just shoot me an email. We will set it up. Thank you all so much for joining up. And thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate it. We have fun doing this. We love to be able to interact like this. It's a good time. And now that it's winter time, we don't have to sit here and look out the window and go, oh man, I could be fishing right now because it's dark out there.
Yep. And, if you're not tuning into our fishing reports, they'll be live by noon tomorrow, usually earlier. So check those out at that link at the bottom there. And, yeah.
And thank you, Zach, for making it all happen. There we go. Awesome.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next month, if not before.